A developer wants to subdivide this rectangular plot of land into congruent square pieces. What is the side length of the largest possible square? Okay, so if this is the piece of land that we have to develop, and the developer wants to put little square sections in it all the way across, right? But we want those squares to go evenly all the way across. So that's what the question is. So I'm gonna make like a bigger square just so we can kind of recognize it. Wouldn't be this big, obviously, right? But just want to be able to see what I'm doing here. So let's say that was X, and this is X, right? Because it's a square piece of land. So now what we're after here is we want to see, okay, whatever this number is for X for this length, can you see how it needs to go evenly into 459, right? It needs to go evenly all the way across this way. If it doesn't, then you'd end up with like a half of a square or something on the end, right? So, okay, so X needs to be a factor of this. And X, if you look at it from this direction now, it needs to go evenly into 816, like all the way down. So what I really want is I want the greatest common factor between these two numbers. So it's actually not that tough of a question, right? Like you just need to know what they're actually asking for. So let's go ahead and use the strategy that we know to break these into their prime numbers and then find the greatest common factor. Okay, so 459. Okay, so with 459, maybe we're unsure what goes into it. And it's in the 9, so I think 3 might be a good one to go in and try first to break it into. So let's try that. Let's go 459 divided by 3. And it does go evenly or nicely in. So we've got, so if we break this down, 459 we can say is 3 times 153. Okay, so now 153, we can break that up now by dividing that by 3. Right, so 153 divided by 3 is 51. And now 51, we can do this one more time. We can divide by 3 as well. So 17. Okay, so 459 can be written as 3 to the power of 3 times 17, because 17 is a prime number. All right, so that's that one. Now let's do 816. Oh. All right, so 816 we can divide by 2 because it ends in an even number, so I know we can. And then that would be 408. Okay, and then 408, even number again, I can divide by 2. So we'll say this is 204, even number again. So now this would be 102, so even number again. So now this one would be 52 and 51. And then we did this one already, right? With 51, that you can divide that, and you get 3 and 17. All right, so 816 was really 2 to the power of 4 times 3 times 17. So now what do we do with that? Well, we're looking for the greatest common factor, right? So I can see that these guys have 1, 3 in common, right? Not all of them, because this is 3. This is really 3 times 3 times 3, right? But there's only 1 3 that's in common. And then just a 17 as well. So our greatest common factor is just going to be 3 times 17. So in this case, 51. So 51 is our greatest common factor. So 51 is what our side length should be. So this should be 51, a square that is 51 by 51, and then that would go evenly into our plot of land.